Hello, everyone. My name is Olivia Estelle, and I wanted to talk about hypnosis today. What is hypnosis? What is the difference between hypnosis and hypnotherapy? What is this thing that has been way misconstrued in the past? And why is it becoming more and more mainstream now? The truth is, it just is. It's mainstream now in a way that it did not used to be, and that is a good thing. And the reason why that is a good thing, the reason why it's great that hypnosis is mainstream, is because hypnosis, as one of my old teachers said, hypnosis can never be used without your permission, but it can be used without your knowledge. So I think it's really important to understand, especially in this day and age, what hypnosis is, how it's being used, and in what ways we are, maybe without meaning to, giving away our permission. So, by permission, that can mean continuing to watch a commercial. That can mean continuing to give attention to somebody who's speaking. That can mean, voting for a presidential or politician candidate. So, really, permission can be stolen. But where hypnosis really, where its secrecy and all of this mysteriousness that has always been around hypnosis, the reason why is because it has always been kept secret kind of on purpose. Really, the truth is that everything is hypnosis. like that one book, um I forget what it's called now, but I really truly think that everything is hypnosis. Mothers speaking to their children, fathers speaking to their children. When parents speak to their children, that is a form of hypnosis. What we say to our kids, the world will say to our kids, right? If we remember back kind of the things that our parents said to us, those things stuck with us, and we probably saw them, in the world. We probably kind of recreated that kind of thing in the world. Whatever was said to us, whatever kind of energy was projected, you know, those travel inward and create our belief system. So, what hypnosis does is it creates a state of relaxation that allows our subconscious mind, the deep part of ourself that is below our thinking mind, the deep parts of ourself to be accessible. So, really, hypnosis is speaking to that lower part of us. And that subconscious part of us is where we hold all of our beliefs, all of our beliefs about who we are, all of our beliefs about our own worth, our worthiness, how we see the world, how we see ourselves. All of that really gets built between the ages of, from birth to 7, actually. So just you can see really all children is kind of this open kind of slate, hypnotizable slate, where everything that their parents saying is kind of programming, laying the foundation in there, in that subconscious. And so what hypnotherapy would do is, as an adult, and those people are dealing with whatever, was laid in there as a child. Maybe it's, a low self-worth, right? A hypnotherapist will get in, relax the conscious thinking mind, which is the mind we're in right now, the mind you're in listening to this video. If you're kind of zoning out, then you might be dipping into the subconscious mind. But if you're, focusing and thinking, that is the conscious mind. And so we have to relax that in a way in order to kind of let it step aside so that we can get deeper. So a hypnotherapist just facilitates relaxed states and then knows how the mind takes suggestion. And so really, in my studies of hypnotherapy and past life regression and shamanic journeys and, connecting to your higher self, all of this work is really, in the realm of hypnotherapy. And now we are coming into a day and age where more and more healers are coming out and they're using it. More and more modalities are kind of blending and mixing, which is beautiful. It's a really good thing. I just wanted to hop on here and talk about why hypnosis matters. Hypnosis is a really, really deep tool for that can enact mental change. It can enact habits because it is directly affecting our unconscious, our deepest kind of habitual mind. And you know what else does that? Meditation. So, meditation, I would say, kind of creates a more organic, maybe a more elegant form of rewiring in the subconscious. Whereas hypnosis is kind of coming in, with a tool set, like with the screwdriver, and it's like we're going to work on that self-worth. They kind of work on one piece, whereas meditation slowly trickles down to all of the roots of the tree, right? Hypnosis kind of comes in for one root, one piece of the branch. They can really have the same effect, same or similar effects. I would just say that hypnosis is more directed or hypnotherapy really, which is just the therapeutic use of hypnosis. And really it helps rewire things that we need kind of in the moment, or directly, like I want to work on weight loss. Well, weight loss is a huge branch. It has a much deeper layers to it. And in order to really get into weight loss, you have to kind of get into the subconscious enough to get to all the branches, right? Because weight loss is worthiness, it is habits, it is, hormones, it is daily physical habits, not just mental habits, but physical habits, right? And so there's so many components to weight loss. That is one of the notoriously trickiest hypnotic, task for hypnotists. That's why you can't just do that with one session. You really have to get into many root causes, not just like one. That one will probably have more than one root cause. Whereas, say, if you want to quit smoking, that might just have one root cause. Sometimes things have more, but hypnosis can really get in there and work on smoking or nail biting, like one thing, one root of the tree. Whereas meditation kind of starts slowly nourishing all the roots at once, right? And so with meditation, we find that we just naturally let go of smoking or naturally stop biting our nails. It just kind of comes up and we can release it. Whereas hypnosis kind of hones in and hammers away at it, chips away at it until it's gone. And that can take different, amounts of time for different people. Really, what hypnosis is it is the way that I use it is really conversational hypnosis. And it is a form of suggestion that the unconscious mind easily accepts, right? And so it includes relaxation and positive suggestions, like you will feel good now. Feel good now is a hypnotic suggestion. Be here now, those are hypnotic suggestions. Back to my point about really hypnosis is everything, or anything can be hypnosis, really. Like presidential speeches, extremely hypnotic. Politicians speaking, or addressing the public, totally, their scriptwriters are using conversational hypnosis. And that is why, it's another reason why I think hypnosis needs to be mainstream. People need to know the hypnotic tactics being used on them, in my opinion. Commercials, very hypnotic, lots of like blinking, flashing. If you're watched during sports games, especially, like blinking, flashing lights that has this like kind of music that kind of puts you into this kind of chill state, and then just the logo, it's just it just goes into the subconscious. You just remember it. It's like an earworm. It's just something that kind of slips right in. And so the next time you're thinking, what computer should I buy? You see that Apple logo or whatever, fill in the blank here of whatever hypnotic commercial, you have known. Definitely in the comments below, let me know of what hypnotic commercials you have noticed. They're everywhere. And really at this point, are we giving permission by watching them? Yeah, I mean, you could make that argument, but it's really kind of a covert permission. I really feel like we could be more ethical with our marketing tactics and not be using covert hypnosis, as a form of marketing, to not be using covert hypnosis to market pharmaceuticals or a political campaign or a specific, what fill in the blank here of whatever the person is pushing. I feel like if hypnosis really did become mainstream, we would see the tactics that were being used, and it just wouldn't work, and our beliefs would be more organic rather than thinking that we wanted something. Because that's really how hypnosis works, is it makes us think that we want whatever, fill in the blank here. We feel like, no, that's legitimately what we want, when really it was a hypnotic kind of thing. So if as human beings were really in tune with ourselves and knew what we wanted and knew who we were as a soul, not, as a materialistic sort of being, we would be less susceptible to this sort of programming. And that's why, hypnosis is a form of programming, really, because it is often making us feel like we want that hamburger on the commercial when we really don't. We think that we want it. But that's how hypnosis works, right? Even, if you go in for hypnotherapy, I want to work out more, we legitimately feel like we do want to work out. So there is a good side of it. That's where hypnotherapy differs from hypnosis. Hypnosis is just the tactic, the hypnotic tactic, brass tacks, the actual suggestions and relaxation. Whereas hypnotherapy is the therapeutic use of hypnosis, the therapeutic use of suggestion and guided relaxation. So hypnotherapy should be all about good change, positive change, things that we want, things we know we want. We've given permission to use hypnosis to make the changes that we want. Whereas just kind of mainstream hypnosis that I see out there is a lot of just, marketing, politics, campaigning, all of that. That is where I think it's important to know what hypnosis is. So some of the things that I notice when I'm seeing mainstream hypnotic tactics being used are commands. You will do this now. Click here now. What else do they say? You are now feeling blah, blah, blah. When someone is telling you how you feel, like, that is a hypnotic command. Your subconscious, especially if it's a good feeling, your subconscious wants to, lock right into that. Where hypnosis gets really powerful is when we do agree with whatever said message is. Say we're being shown, a hamburger that we already like. We already love hamburgers. We are going to our subconscious will, lock into that. We'll kind of meet that. If we see, a hamburger thing and we don't like hamburgers, our subconscious will block it. Right? So we do have that ability. It's not like we're walking around open and susceptible at all times. Kind of what hypnosis is, like lots of really rational left brain people will be like, I'm not hypnotizable. And that can be true. That can be very true. Really what's happening, if the conscious brain is blocking, is refusing to relax, that kind of blocks the hypnotic work. That blocks hypnosis. So really those rational people that stay locked in their left brain all day, locked in rational thinking, they can be less susceptible to hypnosis, but not really. Not really. Sometimes it's just like when you're working out a muscle. If you keep something too tight for too long, that is prone to fatiguing. So like those left brain people are prone to just really kind of like dropping their guard, especially when it's just something that they think that they already agree with. They could really drop their guard, and lots of stuff can be let in that way. That's why I don't, there's a lot of ego, I think, around people that are like, I can't be hypnotized. And it's really just more of the fear of being humiliated, because hypnosis has such a bad reputation with these entertainers, that make people cluck like chickens. Now, stage hypnosis, it has, its place. Entertainment is fun. It does prove to a large amount of people that hypnosis is real. It's a real thing. It really does. It's really about psychology and brain waves is really what it comes down to. And those stage shows really prove to people that it's real, but it also kind of creates this feeling of like defense or like fear because it seems so mysterious, because no one up on stage is really educating people. It's really just more about entertainment, and then okay, bye. And then people are like, that was so weird, they must be a magician or there must be something special about this, when really they're going home and turning on the TV and it's the same thing, right? And so really anytime you're in an audience, anytime you're watching TV, that really is a form of permission, right? Your attention is powerful. Your attention and your focus holds power, and wherever that goes, can be a form of permission. You're allowing that into your field. Like you're looking at a picture or you're looking at a headline. You're giving that permission by giving it your attention. So know that too. If you're ever worried about like, oh, am I susceptible? No, we are not susceptible. It's this, you're not vulnerable, right? We have our inbuilt forms of protection, right? Where our subconscious filters. That's what the conscious mind is doing, is it's really kind of just filtering. The subconscious is filtering things out all the time. It's like the subconscious records everything. The conscious mind is where, we're consciously putting our attention, and then it filters out what kind of gets down into the subconscious, where everything is being recorded here. The conscious mind only needs what is important really for survival, and for life, and everything else just kind of filters down through into the lower kind of recording device. And so it's that recording device that hypnosis is really getting into and affecting. And so I feel like another hypnotic tactic is repetition. Okay, when we hear the same phrase over and over, especially when we're like, oh, okay, I just want to turn on the TV, I'm in a relaxed place, and your left brain is finally able to stop because it's been overworked all day. That is when you just hear the same phrase over and over, take this drug or whatever it is, take this blah, 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 drink this thing. Just a repetition is also a hypnotic tactic. Your subconscious will let things in if it is repeated often enough, usually in threes. If you'll notice, in commercials, those lawyer commercials will repeat their phone number 3 times. That is a hypnotic tactic. It's supposed to stay in the brain more easily. Another thing is pattern interrupt, where your patterns throughout your day or your pattern of your mind in the moment even is interrupted, right? And so just say, if you're in there with a hypnotherapist, they will maybe interrupt you and, cut you off and kind of just redirect something. And that's a hypnotic tactic to kind of pull your conscious mind back a little. Another one is, what was the next one? Really, it is establishing power, right? It's getting someone to do what you want them to do. So if you tell someone, oh, you need to do this, and they're the authority on something, they have established themselves as the hypnotist in that moment. So hypnosis is really about energy. It's really about this energy being stronger than this energy, and the stronger energy being able to affect the less strong energy, right? So that's why people, like old time magicians were known to really kind of build up their power and their skill because it had a hypnotic effect on people, and they could make people do what they wanted. And it is completely unethical, and it has really given hypnosis a bad reputation in the world for a long time. And that's why, because really it's when someone is the authority on something, they establish rapport, by kind of telling the person that is not the authority what to do. And that is a hypnotic tactic. That puts the person who, is not the authority kind of into a receptive state. And that receptive state can be hypnotic. Just depending on how that is used, depending on how, that person uses it. Most of the time, it's perfectly harmless. Most of the time, it's for their good, for their own good. But that is kind of where you have to notice, where do I give my power away? That would be something that you should become mindful of is, the places where you give away your power. Is it in the realm of, of shopping? Is it in the realm of food? Is it in the realm of politics? Is it in the realm of healthcare? Do you really just kind of do whatever you're told? Where do you just do whatever you're told? In whatever category it is, where do you just do what you're told rather than, okay, let me read about this. Let me research it. My gut tells me this. Let me read about that. Just notice where you give your power away, and those are going to be the areas where you are more open to hypnotic suggestibility, where you're just more susceptible. And ultimately, we are sovereign beings, and even if stuff is really barraging us all the time hypnotically, if we're out in the world, if we live in the city specifically, other people, there's always kind of this energy interplay. Like if you work in an office with other people, there is always this energy interplay where someone may be above the other and their energy can kind of knock the other one off, and that can be in the same realm as hypnosis, and really what hypnosis is doing. It's really about one energy, one energy overtaking the energy that exists in the subconscious mind and being able to influence it and change it. So right now, especially with AI, the advent of AI, there's a hard push to getting in there, noticing what changes people's minds. Where do people give away their power? Who do they give their power away to? How can we steer the general public mind? How do we make people more susceptible? A lot of that is, how do we make people less healthy, right? In order to be able to kind of change people's minds. And this whole AI thing that is going on is studying this. They're studying this in the universities right now. So we can be sure that that's going to be the next big thing. And we're already seeing this with influencers, right? Just influencers, these people that just kind of exude this energy that other people really resonate with. And it can be a beautiful thing. Influencing isn't bad. Influencing people to raise themselves up can actually be a beautiful, magical form of healing, okay? So really just being conscious of what is happening is what I want to bring to you. I want to kind of just empower you to know, okay, I'm just fully on board with their energy, and I am open and ready, for them to kind of lift me up and make me feel better. But I just want to empower you to know that it's happening and not just be kind of blown around on the whims of other people influencing you with their energy and with their words and with their commands, or just with their authority. I think a part of this also is finding the places where you are an authority. If you know who you are, if you know how you feel in each moment, which takes mindfulness, and if you know where you give yourself authority, that makes you unsusceptible to hypnosis or outer hypnotic kind of input. So I just wanted to make this quick kind of rundown on hypnosis, what it is and how it works and how I see it in mainstream and how I see it in the media and all of that, so that you can be aware. Please, if you don't mind, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you have noticed. Let me know in the comments, what you have noticed with this topic, with hypnosis. It's not scary. It shouldn't be scary because it is so powerful and so therapeutic. It is my opinion that it just stays in the shadows because people want to be able to use it. They want to be able to use it on others. And I think we have to really empower people to know, so that we can really take ownership of it and we can take ownership of what we're letting into our subconscious. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.